Hi, I'm Emmalene Darlene. I always jump the timer and start talking before she's ready for me to talk. This is the first video in a series of 2 trillion videos of us going to California. Because we never been to California.
Georgia headed to California.
I never been. But anyway, we went to San Francisco, and then we went over to San Diego for some little wedding thing, but we'll get back to that. But anyway, this is the first installment, so come along with us and we'll show you the shenanigans we got into.
Forevermore, I like to share that vintage stream.
Oh, now it's working.
And there we are on the plane.
It's just a few of us. There were actually 7 of us.
Yep. Lots of little grand girls with us. But we're on the plane and we are leaving Atlanta, which if you've ever been through the Atlanta airport, just getting out of the airport and onto a plane is
An adventure.
the first hurdle.
That's the word you're looking for.
So the relief on our faces is, thank God we're on a plane and we're not in the airport anymore. So we're headed to San Francisco. And of course, I'm wide awake and ready to go. But some of us decided that it was a good time for a nap. And so, yeah, that's Papa and Maggie. And there's some of the girls,
What's that? On the little tram with all their luggage.
We have landed. We're on the tram. And, or I don't know, that may have been before we got on.
Let's just pretend it's after.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
Okay. Well, we're on the tram after. Maybe. Anyway, you got to get off the plane. And oh, look, here we are. We're at our Airbnb, which was in Pacifica.
She's on the phone with Misty Pate right there.
I am. I'm showing Misty Pate where we're at. That is Pacifica, California, which is right outside of San Francisco. That's my bedroom.
Oh, really beautiful.
And that's my balcony. And we were plugging in some pictures from the Airbnb's website because we didn't get that many great pictures, but it was a beautiful home overlooking the hills, and then you could see the ocean down below it. And we're going to include the contact information for this home in Pacifica. It had 4 bedrooms. And it was just absolutely lovely. And you can see the families made themselves right at home.
I really miss it.
I know. I love the breeze coming off of there. Okay, now we're headed to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Well, we're already there.
Well, I mean,
Look at us.
Well, we're on the Golden Gate.
This was the first day we got there. It's a little cloudy. It gets better later.
Yeah, I think we crossed the Golden Gate Bridge about 4 different times. And then finally, at some point, we stopped at a park so we could actually get pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge. But this is not that exciting because it is just fog and random.
What did you think of San Diego? Not San Diego. What did you think of San Francisco?
I loved San Francisco. And I really don't know what I expected, but I really didn't expect to like it. But
I loved it.
I loved it.
Was very surprised.
I would go back there. Just the word I'm trying to say ain't coming out because y'all know that's how I roll. But just the geographic, the hills.
Topography.
That's the word I was looking for. The topography is amazing. It didn't look like any place I've ever seen before.
And just how they built all the houses up on these hillsides. It was beautiful. The weather was amazing.
It reminded me of the pictures I've seen of like Italy, where all the houses are up in the hills and they're all real close and near each other. I mean, if they had a patch of land, they put a house on it. It might be 4 stories tall, but
actually our house was 3 stories.
It was.
I thought Emmalene was gonna
die. We thought she was gonna die. Listen, not only was it 3 stories up, but it was very modernist, and there were no banisters
in the whole house.
No banisters.
Even I'm I hated that.
I'm a klutz. And if I'm going up very slow with nothing in my hand, I don't know, I might make it and lift. But coming up and down those steps with laundry and things in your hand, and when you're tired, suitcases, it was, I was getting my steps. I was sure I lost weight, but you know what? I didn't. Because we weren't eating big meals. We were doing a lot of snacking.
Actually, we were at this place trying to find food, and we were waiting on a restaurant, and we went out there. It was beautiful. You can see right there, that's my husband and two kids.
Yes, they left us.
They did.
They did.
We went and find them, and we'll find them later.
But yeah, it was just beautiful. And this is right outside of Ghirardelli. They had this big pumpkin display all around.
This is all over in like the Fisherman's Wharf area of San Francisco.
It was beautiful. See, there I am filming. You'd think I'd have some footage, wouldn't you?
We had that video
somewhere. We got it somewhere. This was just a beautiful little area.
And good chocolate.
And I didn't get any chocolate. What happened?
That's unfortunate.
I didn't get coffee or chocolate.
We were trying to find an antique store. Well, actually, this is after we did because you have a bag.
Because I have a bag. I found 5 antique Christmas ornaments at one little vintage shop. And I was so happy to get them because I was going into just withdrawal, not going to a vintage store.
Was this in Sausalito? I believe that's where we are right now. Everything in this house is beeping.
Isn't that amazing? The clock's going off. Stove's going off.
I'm going to pause. We're back.
We're looking for a coffee shop at this point when we were told there was a vintage store right near that fire department.
It was closed.
I was so sad.
They're closed on Mondays.
But they did find coffee.
And it was great. It was Firehouse Coffee.
All lived to tell. I didn't find my vintage store. This is the right outside of a restaurant where we were going to go eat. However, it was.
Remember when we showed you my husband and kids? This is where they were. I went and found them. It was beautiful.
The restaurant was booked. We couldn't get in, and so there we were. But that was in the parking lot, and now we're back on the bridge.
I think this is the next morning.
But you can see it now, so that's nice.
It was a totally different experience without the fog.
Well, it's a different experience when you're not in the back seat, because I couldn't see any of this very well.
Sorry. Aren't you glad I videoed?
I am. It's beautiful.
I don't know if you can see all the little mountains in the background. There were just so many cool things. And there were always people walking up and down. If I go back, I'm going to walk over it.
You don't have to walk the whole thing.
I don't.
You know, if you walk on it at all, you walked on it. So, I'm just saying.
I might want to walk the whole thing.
I'm going to be at an antique store shopping while you're walking out there on that bridge.
Did you notice we didn't find any
that
antique?
That means we have to look harder.
They were not there. They don't have
They were there. They were hiding, but they're there. Listen, if you live in San Francisco and you know where there's some good antique stores, would you please just send me a text?
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments.
Then other people will be able to find them
because
when they go.
I'm going back to find some antique stores. Because,
She's going in a motorhome, though.
I just might.
Because I don't think she wants to fly.
Well, there's a story about that, but we won't go into it right now. But anyway, I don't mind flying. I think I'm a, feet on the ground kind of girl.
This is where we stopped on the other side. Oh, it's so pretty. Look how pretty that is, y'all.
Yep.
You can see that's San Francisco out there on the horizon. So we're on the other side.
There we are. Golden Gate Bridge. It's just an absolutely beautiful state. See, somebody had a camper. They knew what to do.
Well, they stayed there. There was a guy changing clothes in one. He freaked out the kids.
Okay, well,
So it sounds better than it is. This was like a monument to the different departments of the military. And that was the Lone Sailor, I think was what it reminded me of Uncle Jimmy. He's like got the same patches and it's World War II. So it's like the same uniform we have of his.
I didn't get that. I don't know where we are here.
I think this is actually in the wrong place. But we'll just this comes in the next video. We don't know. The roads look at that. That's what we're going to look at. Look at can you see all the houses on the hillside that look like Italy behind the tree? Give it a second. It's beautiful.
It's just an absolutely beautiful place. And I don't think we're exactly getting that across with
It is hard to see. We watched stuff before, and you just can't visualize it until you see it.
So bottom line, go see San Francisco for yourself. And I'm going to go back.
If we next time, I think we would probably stay in Tiburon is like one of the places we go to, and you'll see that in another video. But it was a smaller area outside, and it was not in the clouds, so it wasn't as foggy.
I loved being in the clouds, and I actually woke up 2-3 mornings in a row. There was a light shining right in my eyes, and it turned out to be a full moon that was coming right through the door and hitting me right in the face. And I loved that. In fact, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and went out on the deck to take a picture of it because I knew nobody was going to believe me.
This is a great place to put that picture, but
it would be.
I don't
wonder where it's at.
We'll see.
We're so good at this.
Okay.
Wow. Downtown San Francisco. They have a hill or two and a few tight curves. No. Just remember that.
The hills, I mean, she's not exaggerating. And the houses are built on the hills. Can't imagine having to move into these places. But look, this is not even that big of a hill.
That's not a hill. Wait, there's hills and curves and more hills.
And the most beautiful architecture I think I've personally ever seen. Just old houses. And
I love how...
I want to do some research now.
I love how the old architecture was kept and added to, and just everywhere you looked was just beautiful old architecture.
And it went on forever. I feel like San Francisco, most big cities you go to, there's a few big streets. There were so many streets just full of these beautiful houses. And for the most part, it was not what you see on the news. We did find some less than stellar places. We actually ended up in something called the T-bone. No, that's the tenderloin.
She keeps calling the tenderloin the T-bone.
Okay, I don't know why it's called the tenderloin, but that area, apparently stay out of it. So if you're going to San Francisco, look up what that is.
Someone told us.
And we ended up there anyway, but we got out.
Can you tell she's my daughter? Someone told us to stay out of the tenderloin, and she was on Google trying to find where the T-bone was.
Tenderloin, so you just did
No, I said that's what you said. You were trying to find the T-bone, and I'm like, I was hungry at the time, so I wasn't going to argue with her, but I was pretty sure she wasn't looking for dinner.
This is not the tenderloin. This is
beautiful. We went to Haight-Ashbury, where the hippies hang out, and I loved it. Yes. The younger generation of kids were a little freaked by it.
Chloe, one of my oldest liked it. The youngers were freaked, but of course there were homeless people, and there was a group of people sitting on the sidewalk smoking pot. It was not small town Georgia.
It wasn't, but I liked it. And honestly, if it had been earlier in the day, I think it would have been better. We're just getting late, and we're from Hooterville, so we just
We are actually headed to something you'll see, but we were headed to a place called Lombard Street. I don't know if anyone knows. We're not going to tell you what it is in case you don't know, but we are almost to
We
that.
didn't know, but yeah.
I think Ryan knew.
Some groups of somebody that lived on a hill, and they got tired of people racing down their hill.
And so this is what they came up with, but don't tell them what it is.
I'm pretty sure they know. Well, if you know, you know. But if you don't know...
Now you're going to find out.
We're going down Lombard Street. And it's a few tight curves. Just a few.
Just a little. It was so cool.
Can you imagine having to back up that street?
Well, people live on the street. I can't imagine having to get in and out of these houses. And I guess they just sit at their windows and watch people do this all day. See, there
they are watching. I still think they did it to make people stop racing down their hill. All they did is put in some flower beds, and so therefore you can't just go straight down. You have to curve. I don't know.
And then they covered it with brick.
I don't know if that's how it happened, but in my mind, if people keep racing down my street, I'm going to go out there and put some flower beds. I have my own Lombardo Street. Probably won't work here.
And we were having to go very slow, as you can imagine. It's not the best video, but I was a little distracted by what we were doing.
Someone had never heard of Lombardo Street, and so...
some of all of us.
Well, one of us had. But anyway, there they are. And see, they're videotaping.
Look, we're probably in their video
coming
on YouTube somewhere.
Down the street.
It was cool.
People in San Francisco have to be in good physical condition because I'm telling you, there's a lot of hills.
And steps.
And hills.
And healthy food. Their food is so much better.
Good. Yeah, the food was good. Now we're headed to something called the Painted Lady.
This was on my bucket list. I dragged everyone with me. Anyone know what those are? If you grew up in the 80s, maybe 90s, you definitely know.
Well, they're looking at the Painted Ladies, which is that row of houses from a TV show. I'm looking at that electric car right there that drives driverless. And they were all over the place.
Yeah, they were everywhere.
I was fascinated.
Called Waymo.
Look, see them?
There's 3 of
them. There are no
right
drivers. There. No drivers. We don't have those here, but I want one now.
There were also a ton of Teslas. I mean, Teslas were everywhere. Here in Perry, there's, 1 or 2.
Yeah, but if I had one of those driverless cars, I bet I could make a fortune in Perry.
I kind of want to ride in one next time. Anyway, but we were there to see the houses from
and there they are.
House, and there they are.
There they are.
And there's
their picture with them. I wasn't quite as impressed.
Yeah, but I took your picture anyway.
She did. I was impressed with the older homes, but not necessarily so much because it was on a TV show. So that was the first installment of our trip to San Francisco.
That was it. We made it through. We got kind of tickled, and now I'm crying. I'm really good.
Anyway, it was fun. I love San Francisco. We also went to Muirwood
Forest, which is like a redwood
monument.
Forest.
It's a state park. Can you tell we talk on top of each other a lot? Because we do. We talk on top. Does mother and daughters, we just do that? Anyway, we did. We went to the forest. She'll tell you all about it when we make that video, which is probably going to be the next one. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you later.
We're living in that vintage dream.